Hey everybody, John here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Fractured Butthole, grabbing the Orgy of Power achievement. This is to use every single one of your allies' finisher moves. If you don't have it by the time you hit the end of the game, I recommend using this spot to the right of raisins. You will see these raisin girls in the parking lot, and you can just farm them, just defeat them, and then go back into the restaurant and come back out, and they should respawn. So, if for whatever reason you do not know how to use a character's finisher, what you basically want to know is that every time a character takes damage, you fill up this little bar at the top of the screen. Also, before an opponent's attack lands, you can tap the A button, and that should give you a little bonus towards filling up the bar. Once you get to 100%, what you want to do is you want to wait until the turn of the character that you want to use their finisher. You want to go up to the opponent, hit left bumper, and that should do a limit break-esque attack. So to get this achievement, what you have to do is you have to use every single one of your allies' finishers, which is going to total for 11. So you just want to start off with a specific character and then just work your way around the list. This is obviously going to take multiple fights. And another note to keep in mind is if you get a game over in a fight where you've used a finisher, the achievement will not track until you finish the fight. So for example, let's say that you used a finisher and then ended up getting all your characters killed and the game will make you restart from the last checkpoint. That will void that finisher for that fight, so the achievement won't track. So what that pretty much amounts to is every time you start a fight, make sure you get to the finisher you want to use the finisher, cross it off the list, and then finish the fight, and that should save towards the achievement, and then you can go back into raisins, come back out, fight the same amount of characters again, and then just do another character's finisher. And that's my advice. Don't get too greedy and do 2 finishers per fight. The reason for that is if you risk a game over, you might end up confusing yourself later on with your checklist. Other than that, there are a few things and myths I'd like to debunk at this point. For example, Tweak and Craig both have different finishers earlier in the game, and once you beat a certain mission of theirs, they get a different finisher, which looks like the same. The way that works is as long as you use any one of their finishers individually, it will count towards the achievement. So what that means is if you can use any one of Craig's finishers, and that will be 1 towards the achievement, and you can use any one of Tweak's finishers, and that will be also 1 towards the achievement. But it doesn't matter which one of their individual finishers you use. As long as you use one of them, it will be good for the achievement. So what this means is once you are in the post game, you do not have to worry about going back and covering their previous finishers. As long as you use both of their new finishers at least once with one of them active on the board, that will count towards the achievement. So despite people claiming that the achievement is actually missable because of the previous misconception, that is actually not the case. You can get away with using both of their finishers in the post game. And now the final misconception I'd want to cover is going to be Mysterion's finisher. So Mysterion's normal finisher is going to be him running into a crowd and then blowing himself up. That is the thing that will count towards the achievement. However, if you know anything about Mysterion, is once he dies, he turns into a ghost, and that ghost also has a finisher, which pretty much just brings him back to life. That ghost finisher will also not count towards the achievement, so you don't have to worry about getting that if you really must, although it isn't missable since you still have access to both of the finishers in the post game for whatever reason you want to see what both of them look like. So other than that, you just have the 11 characters to worry about. No special rules or anything. This achievement is not missable as long as you remember to always finish your fights and make sure that the game saves your progress, and that is how the tracking works. Other than that, once you get to your 11, you should get the achievement 15 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.